Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode here on Eat Sleep Brief. And this week, well, not only do we have a great view here of the tank, but in this week I'm going to be kind of giving you guys my final thoughts on the stock sump that came with this 50-gallon motor aquarium. The reason for that, as I announced in the last video, we're going to be doing 100% Triton method right out of the gate. Believe it or not, we're about on week 3. I think we're just about to end week 3. And this tank, I haven't done any tests on it, but from what I can see, this tank is fully cycled already. I can already start seeing, I don't know if you freshwater guys or you guys are aware of freshwater, but like kind of the pearling that they call on the plants. I can see some of the bubbles forming up on the rock. I can see that diatom color. Now, if this tank is anything like my JBJ 45, that tank, guys, I never experienced a diatom bloom on the sand bed. I didn't experience it on the sand bed. I didn't experience it on the rock. I don't know what to attest to it. I don't know what causes that. But just in my specific ways that I cycle tanks, I almost never see what people refer to as diatom bloom, which is tons of gold color on the bottom of the sand bed, tons of gold color on the rock. I mean, I'll get tiny little spots here and there, but it's very minimal. Again, I don't know what the reason for that. I just know that every time I cycle my tank, my method, that's typically what I can expect. So, like I mentioned, I do want to give you guys my final thoughts on the sump that is included here on the 50-gallon motor aquarium. Again, I'm only removing it because I'm be doing the Triton method, and per Triton requirements, there's certain ways it needs to be set up. Like your first chamber, as soon as a return is, it returns kind of into the refugium, followed by the skimmer, and then the return. If you guys missed last Sunday's video, be sure to check it out. It's going to give you a little bit of a better idea, but let's get right to it. Very quickly, before we jump to the sump, I kind of want to give you guys a little quick look on what I'm talking about. So again, I haven't done any tests on the tank, no ammonia, no nitrite, no nitrate. One, because I don't have those test kits. I don't want to go out and spend the money to just do one test, one time and then never use them again. But also because I'm really taking it easy. So I don't know if the camera can pick it up. Let me see if I can zoom in. So it's very hard to see the slight discoloration here on video. More importantly, it's hard to see the little micro bubbles starting to form, especially here on the top. I don't know if you guys can, I don't know if you guys just saw that bubble go up. But it's doing kind of what I like to call pearling. It's known in freshwater. The plants tend to do it a lot. And I can kind of see it as well. I can see kind of some slight discoloration, some slight type of algae already forming. So just by that, I can tell you guys, I can actually see it quite a bit on this rock here. It looks very much to be like a diatom bloom, if you will. And like you see, you probably have Googled diatom bloom online and you've seen stuff that's sand beds that are saturated, rocks that are saturated. I specifically don't get that. Again, I don't know if it's just because how I cycle, but typically I don't see that. But it's very cool. It's also very nice to see that these mollies, being crazy algae eaters, they're already grazing all over the rock and the sand. Maybe that's why I don't see the diatom bloom, because they're eating most of it. I don't know. Again, I can only go by the way I do. So here's the bottom of the sump, guys. One thing I've already come to love about this 50-gallon motor aquarium is how the panels just remove, guys. Check that out. The panels come completely off. If ever I want to remove them, they're magnetically held in. Or anytime I'm doing maintenance, or like today or like tomorrow that I'm be changing out the sump, it makes it so much easier. So give you guys a quick rundown here of the sump. I know I haven't talked too much about it. So this sump here, as far as the PVC, the whole plumbing, all that is included with the kit. The sump is included, the aluminum stands included, and obviously the tank. Now, one thing you will notice, guys, is this whole plumbing, although it's very nice, it's all metric. So if you guys do want to add American PVC to it, you're going to have to get the conversions. BRS sells the metric to American conversion for PVC. They're actually couplers is what they are. But this is 40 millimeter, 40 millimeter. This section here is 25, and then it steps down to, I believe, 20 and 20 all the way to the top. I found it near impossible to get metric plumbing. If you have good luck, well, Hopefully you can find it, but I haven't been able to find it here in the US. So if you guys do want to change it, add manifolds, you're gonna have to either get the couplers. I also talked to Motoquariums and they said they're gonna be ordering more of this extra plumbing, so you can order it separately. So if you guys do want to add or remove stuff, you can do so. So very cool. I'm glad that Mode is listening to us, because again, that's one thing I told them, you know, it's nice that you guys provide your plumbing, but it'd be cool for you guys to sell it separately so we can add or remove stuff as we need. So going back to the diagram here of the sump, so it drains right here. And if you guys saw 2 videos I did back, I have my own DIY filter cup. This is one I made. You can see media inside. It drains right down into, it's supposed to have a 4-inch sock. They come with 4-inch socks, just I didn't want to use it. So it drains all the way down, and then it goes below this baffle and then comes up here and then overflows into this chamber here. Now this chamber here by default is supposed to be, at least Motoquarium designed it to be a skimmer section, as it's very common with a lot of sumps. Now, the only downside is the skimmer I'm running, the Delua GW5, the Great White 5, does not fit in here. It'd have to crazy be modified for it to work. This sump here was specifically designed to work with smaller skimmers. There is some other ones out on the market that it'll work with. Or if you don't want to have any headache, just get the TIA 110 by Catalites, and that'll fit no problem right in here. So following that chamber, they designed this huge, I think it's, I forgot on the first video I did. I want to say this chamber's 10.5 by 10.5, if I remember correctly. Now this chamber here is your whole refugium. This was designed by Motoquariums to be 100% refugium. One thing I love, guys, is that it's really big. It allows for great nutrient export. Or let's say if you're like me and you're like, I don't want to run the refugium, I don't care for it, you know, I'll do GFO and what's it called, NOPOX dosing, carbon dosing if you will, then obviously you can go ahead and you can put a bigger skimmer in this section. You still have room for reactors, carbon, GFO reactors without any issue. So I'm very happy that this chamber is really big. So if you're not going to use it as a refugium, you can either put a bigger skimmer. More importantly, you can make this a frag section of coral, a coral grow out frag section. Just hang up a light right here, and you're able to use this as a grow out section or a quarantine or anything of that sort. Followed by that, we have the return area. The return area it's very big, guys. It's a little bit oversized. I don't know if you can see my pump down there, but it's more than enough area for that pump I'm running. It's a Vario 6, you can see right there. And really no complaints with it whatsoever. I'm actually really loving it. But again, the main reason I am changing this is because I'm be going Triton method, and Triton requires that the refugium be the first chamber. So if this was Triton, you would remove all the mechanical filtration and this whole thing would become the, actually you could do that if you really wanted to, know that I'm looking at it. But anyways, it requires this whole chamber to be the refugium section with no mechanical filtration. The second chamber becomes your skimmer section, and your third chamber becomes your return pump. So again, that's the only reason I'm taking it out, and I'm actually going to be very excited. I'm bringing you guys along the journey. Advanced Acrylics was nice enough to sponsor the sump. I'm bringing you guys on that journey so we can check out their facilities. Actually here in SoCal. So it's going to be very cool to bring you guys along so we can check it out together. So that was pretty much it, guys. I just want to give you guys a rundown of the sump for you guys that are ordering a Motoquarium and you're going to use a stock one. It's great. There's nothing wrong with it. Just for me specifically doing Triton, it's not going to work. Now the sump itself is constructed 100% of glass. I really love this touch they added with the acrylic overlay. I don't know if you can see it, but it's overlaid here on the outside. I love how the side panels, they overlaid it solid white. So visually, aesthetically wise, when you remove the panels, it always looks clean, as you can witness here. And I also like that they made the viewing panels a little bit smaller. Again, allows it for you to maintain it a lot cleaner over time. So guys, that's pretty much it. I just want to give you guys a rundown of the sump again. So if you guys are considering this tank or any of the Infinity Most series tanks, you have a better idea. We're going to leave this video here, guys. If you guys have any questions, comments, or concern, please leave them down in the comment box below. If you guys are not subscribed to my channel and I earned your subscription, I highly urge you to subscribe hit that thumbs up, give me that like, hit the notification bell so you get notified as soon as a new video comes up. I thank each and every one of you for watching. As always, happy reefing.